Hello, Commanders fans. If you want to stay up to date with every detail of the season, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss anything. Leave your like to strengthen our passionate Commanders community. So get ready, because there's some exciting news coming your way. Commanders signed Chris Moore to practice squad. The Washington Commanders have signed veteran wide receiver Chris Moore to their practice squad. Moore, a 2016 fourth-round pick of the Baltimore Ravens in 2016, has played in 111 games with 18 starts. He has caught 138 passes on 215 targets for 1,710 yards and 8 touchdowns. In addition to the Ravens, Moore has appeared in games for the Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans, and Arizona Cardinals. Moore has appeared in 5 games this season. Moore played 4 seasons at the University of Cincinnati from 2012 to 2015. During that time, Moore caught 119 passes for 2,301 yards and 26 touchdowns, including a career-high 9 in 2013. Moore is 6th in program history in receiving yards and 1st in receiving touchdowns. He is also tied for the most receiving touchdowns in a single game for Cincinnati, a feat he accomplished with 3 scores against Ohio State in 2014. Cowboys' Micah Parsons shares emotional conversation with Commanders' Dan Quinn. Dallas Cowboys star Micah Parsons has made no secret of his admiration for Washington Commanders head coach Dan Quinn. Although they parted ways last offseason when Quinn was hired by the Commanders, Parsons made it clear that his respect and affection for the former defensive coordinator remain intact. During his first 3 seasons in the NFL, Parsons performed exceptionally well under Quinn's guidance. During that time, he accumulated 40.5 sacks, 51 tackles for loss, and forced 7 fumbles, establishing himself as one of the league's top defensive talents. But their relationship goes beyond statistics. For Parsons, Quinn is more than just a coach. He is a true mentor and role model off the field. This year, the Commanders and Cowboys faced off for the first time in Week 12, in an intense game that Dallas came out on top in. 2 weeks later, however, the Cowboys suffered a devastating loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, all but ending their playoff hopes by dropping to a 5-8 record. Parsons' frustration was evident at the end of the game. Instead of following the NFL tradition of shaking hands with opponents, he left the field visibly shaken, behavior that drew criticism. In response, the player explained that his behavior was a reflection of his extremely competitive nature. On the most recent episode of his podcast, The Edge, Parsons revealed that Dan Quinn reached out to him after that tough loss to offer support. Talking to Dan, he's our guy. Dan's like an uncle to me, Parsons teases to teammate Trayvon Diggs. He saw my comments on the podcast and called after the Bengals game, just to check in on me mentally. He wanted to make sure I was okay. During the conversation, the focus shifted to the Commanders' rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels. Parsons was full of praise for the young athlete. "I know their quarterback is capable," Parsons said. "In the Bears game, against us, his composure in the big moments is impressive. He has what it takes. He's fearless. He's not intimidated by the moment." Diggs, who was present for the podcast taping, added, "He knows he's good," Diggs said. "He knows he's the guy." That confidence is essential, especially in the NFL. When you have that mindset, nobody can stop you from achieving your goals. Parsons also took the opportunity to respond to criticism from Philadelphia fans who claimed that injuries had a bearing on Daniels' impressive performance, who scored 5 touchdowns in the Commanders win the previous week. For Parsons, there's no room for excuses. The connection between Parsons and Quinn is sure to fuel the imagination of Commanders fans, who dream of the possibility of Parsons donning a Washington jersey in the future. But it's best not to get your hopes up. The star is unlikely to leave the Cowboys anytime soon, much less to join a direct rival. In any case, it's interesting to see players from rival teams speak so highly of a Commanders quarterback, something that hasn't always been common in the franchise's recent history.